Good evening, everybody joining us for this second game for some teams in the Masters men's division. We've got USA up against the Australian Masters team now. I'm joined here by Agnes from Colorado Underwood Hockey. Agnes, I'm not really around across all the scores today. Are the USA coming off a win from their first game?
Let's see, the Masters men did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So both teams on, 2 points allegedly in the ladder. The Aussie men had a good victory over Canada, your neighbours, this morning. So, yeah, we're starting to, the second round of the round robin for the Masters men. It's going to be a good chance to see some of the stronger teams cover against each other and try and work out, which of the top dogs those teams are going to be.
Yeah, it should be an very interesting match. USA has sent a very strong Masters team this year and can hope for the best.
Strong in the water, and just noticing from the team list, strong in the business. A lot of entrepreneurs, Underwood Hockey entrepreneurs in this team. Dave Kennedy of Can-Am fame, and Lyndon Reeve. Yeah, a lot of very successful people in and out of the water.
Yep. No, there's high hopes here and for for all parts of the game. But
I am going to get the results from the last couple of wheels printed off by tomorrow. But 2018, this team did quite well, didn't they?
This is a very different team from
yeah,
2018.
did they do quite well in this division?
Honestly, I don't remember what
Me
the
neither.
Masters men did. I
remember one of the USA teams knocked out Australia in the playoffs, but it might have been the men's.
Yeah, it was a close game, but honestly, I don't remember which one ended. Okay, it looks like we got 15 seconds.
Do your own research, and that we'll have some better stats by the morning. It's just about to kick off here this evening. The light's starting to take effect here. You can see that out shot. Kev Chisholm from Wonthaggi /Torquay in Victoria. He's sitting out this game, and a really nice jumpsuit there, Kev. Nice and bright and bubbly. It's a good choice for this evening's games. So we can see USA winning the strike, shuffling it back there to their fullback. Do you call them fullbacks, Agnes?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
Back or last back or fullback.
Centre back. There we go. And now it's stuck over there on that far wall. Stuart Parkinson's making his debut for the Masters men. He sat out this morning for Australia, and we've already got a referee's call against Australia. So a nice early opportunity for USA here to put some pressure. I have noticed some games. There's been a lot of quick goals and a lot of quick teams getting up and putting pressure on early, which has rattled a few teams. As we can see, USA, the centre back, taking the puck, flicking it into that stack where it's been being contested at the moment.
Hard to see what's happening here.
Yeah, it's just like a mall of piranhas.
Close to that goal,
but they've got some good puck position, field position, or pull position. And the Aussies, just the backs there, just need to rotate. We can see Jimmy Rossiter coming down and joining the rotation. Lethal left-handed Dave Barry-McCauley there, just sitting as the off-wing, ready to shut down any attacking drives from the USA team. But now, I think that's Ben Richards in the water, the Kiwi ref, calling something against the Australians. So still under the pump. They, really can't let that puck go anywhere near that goal trade. If the bobble of a puck can change everything and give USA a really good attacking opportunity. As we got the seat now, it's on the centre. Stuart Parkinson, the fullback, punching it out, and nice good bottom time. All those extra players are down early in case it does come back. And
another call.
Another call, a bit trigger happy this evening. So from an Australian perspective, the players sitting in the forward just really need to hit. And as soon as that player touches the puck from the USA team, they can swim forward from the referees that are keeping them onside. And this close to the goal tray, you just really got to, it's right in front of the goal tray, so this is going to be quite tricky. But they just got to give them no time to flick the puck. But it looks like no one's shooting out. Jason Mees, the captain and coach, has maybe got some different defensive free puck strategies and not shooting out at the players, but they all held their ground. They're all 6 Australian men, Masters men, and they've managed to shuffle it shot it down so far, but did that puck just bobble back in? I can see a puck in the goal tray,
See what
and
the
that's an early
referee
goal.
said.
Early goal to USA.
Nice, nice job, USA.
That was, I think that was number 1, Gherkin. Oh, sorry, it was number 3, Chris Tomaso. Tomaso?
Tommaso, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that kind of snuck up on us there, Agnes. It was the Aussies just shut down a drive, but then they just seemed to get it down the back wall and pop it in. So yeah, the Aussies really under the pump here by the USA Masters men. They haven't really had any control or been able to link any phases of play together to get out of their D, their 6 metre D. So you can see now they've got a chance to hopefully keep the USA Masters out of their half and gain some pull position. Oh, I can see now the USA really good puck control. Yeah.
Opening up the game, but
yeah, I think both the USA Masters would be trying to play an open strategy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
much more so than sometimes in the past.
Yeah. So both teams you could get a lot of free flowing hockey when it's in the centre of the court. Good for viewing, with both teams employing open water strategy and attacking the space strategy here. As you can see now, the first free puck for Australia of the game. They've taken advantage of it. They were taking advantage of it, but now the USA player is just swimming off to the safety of the far side of the court, and the Australians just need to start getting some phases to play. It's a bit hard with so many ref calls, but they're probably all a bit jittery, and that was for chopping. Hitting the player's arm with your stick hand, an illegal move. But yeah, just with these, so frequent rest calls, it's really hard to tire out other teams and score goals and create attacking opportunities. But if you have more numbers on the bottom, you can do anything than the other team. As we can see here, really good defence so far, Agnes, from the USA team. They just really shut down any little sniff that the Australian players are having. And good numbers. They've just had some players join the sub-bench. Number 2, Scott Tucker, coming from the sub-bench and starting a drive away, but it's been shut down now. Dave Barry-McCauley trying to find one of his players. That's Matt Mahatov there, his debut comp for Australia. And number 10, Nate Rust, doing a good drive, but now Jimmy Rossett has got the puck. He's looking for options, and he's found one, but it's not a clean pass. I haven't noticed a lot of good, clean passes, unlike the USA team. They're really, USA team, passing a lot of clean passes to the white sticks, which is why they've been performing so strongly. Now, Jacko Smith just taking the puck there and finding his other forward. Unfortunately, called back for a free puck against USA. But yeah, so far, I guess part of the reason the Australians haven't been able to, create some opportunities is just they're trying to flick the puck through other players, the USA players, and instead of trying to, look for an option that's uncontested. As we can see now, the USA player, and I like that little variation on the free puck. It's swim it up and pop it back. It's nice, it's unusual, and we can see here now the USA players just keeping possession of the puck on their stick is good times if you've got good open space and puck on your stick. And they're really not stepping down. The USA, this is really good performance from the USA Masters, having no expectations coming through this game of how they perform. They're exceeding mine. Is that Jacko? Oh, great work there by Jacko just to shut that down. But again, let off the hook there with a free puck now. Alrighty, we can see Australian taking that free puck and not doing a great job of keeping possession. Australia, anytime they get a stiff, it's 1 or 2 passes and then they're losing possession. But now we've got some attacking opportunity. We can see Jacko there just lurking for a good hit here by the captain coach Jason Mees. He's really putting under pressure, and creating a good attacking opportunity for his team. As we can see now, a nice underbody flick. There's players there, lots of black players, black stick players down, Aussie players down. But now USA are off the hook or not. Oh, here we go. A chopping call against USA. Now Australia, I can see some subs going in. They don't have much time to get back in position for this attacking opportunity. But luckily the refs haven't set up that free puck too quickly. Now you can see the centre just subbing in for Australia. 5 players down, flicks it into the stack. And that is being cleared by USA. Good work there by the captain, Jimmy Rosser, to just knock down that flick. Otherwise, they would have been a bit on the pump. We can see number 13 there from Australia, Pat Kelly from WA. Nice, strong, flat body position. Was able to defuse that. But now the USA players just picking the pockets of any time they're put under the pump by the Australians and managing to shut down any attacking drives. As we see Australia starting to consolidate, but it starts to stop here this evening. I'm sure the players are getting frustrated by those calls, and you just can't get into their flow state, their rhythm, to play their structures and tire the other team out. But it is what it is. And as we resume play here, the puck is over on the far side of the court. A nice little open switch initiated by Stuart Parkers, and Jason Measy's still very quick in his senior age, and he's gone straight to the sub bench. Couldn't find a clean pass to his player on the other side, but there's a good chance for those players to get a sub in. As we can see, the puck is stagnated over there. I think that's Jacko. Not quite strong on the bottom, but managed to find Ryan Heckenberg from Wollongong, who's having a nice combination with his New South Wales teammate Jacko and Ryan and Hecko and Jacko having a really good combination, particularly earlier in the day against Canada. And Jacko just doing a great job there, picking the pocket of that player to shut down that drive, but it's been called back, unfortunately, for the Australians. And they're under pump here. Agnes, back home, I guess, what preparation, how do you think this team's prepared differently from, say, 2018, the USA team? Sorry. So we've got a bit of back chat going on in the back of the commentary room.
Sorry. So what was that?
The question was, compared to 2018, what do you think these people, the USA team, has done differently to prepare for this comp?
Well, a lot of people that were playing, a lot of the players that were playing Elite in 2018 have moved up to Masters, so that, of course, strengthened the team. And they have a New Zealand coach, Andreas Marwick, who is helping them. And, the style of play, I think they've opened it up a lot, moving across the pool more and a little more patience instead of trying to crash through. And it's working for them.
Yeah, it's definitely, so far, and this is the first game I've watched them play this comp, but they definitely seem, they're here to win, and a very strong showing so far. As you can see, they've just about to resume from an Australian timeout. The Australians under a bit of pressure here, about to resume with an attacking free puck right in the centre of the goal tray. Now, we'll see again if the Australians are going to put on any pressure on this USA, this flick. And a bit more pressure coming out there, but now it is contested, and we can see there the maul is moving out. They're still not out of the woods yet, but there's just an amalgamation of players there on the bottom working hard. But the puck has gone in. Oh, someone's picked up the puck. Naughty, naughty. One of the players has picked up the puck.
Yeah.
Not allowed to do that. And the referee's calling it, though.
Good call it. So USA up 2-0. Good job, USA.
and now they're being rewarded for that effort with a timeout by the coach Andreas, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. Jason Mees is in this timeout. He's just given Spark some instructions that the players staying in the water, the starting 6, and going back to the sub bench to instruct the boys. I'm sure they're a bit rattled, a bit flustered. Obviously, possibly, shaken by the amount of refereeing calls and the inability to get in the flow of their game. But that's what happens in this fast. With so many fit players here, there's just not a lot of margin for fouls, and with good refs as we do have here, the competition, they're picking up a lot of those indiscretions. Play about to resume. And USA winning that free puck and flicking it out to the right. And a nice little switch straight away. The switch is what they've been known for, but that USA player was right onto that and has really put them back under the pump here as Jimmy Rosser tries to clear it. Doesn't quite clear it. Oh, great work there. So,
and it did go in.
Great work there for that player to finish it off. The player who had that first bite of the cherry just couldn't quite get his body right and was doing an underbody move, but there was luckily another player there to back him up, and Australia really under the pump now, 3-0 down. Matt Blair scoring that goal.
That one, yep.
Play resuming here. USA a really strong 3-0 lead in this first half. And just completely really constricting the Australians and anything they try to do, and obviously that goal came from that that forward reading the switch and shutting it down. So they definitely know what the Australians are up to with their switches, and they'll have to be a bit more smarter the next time they try and initiate one. They're not going to come easy, those switches, to open it up. They have to work hard and possibly find some other angles, other decisions to get some good field pool position. A nice little swerve there by the American player who's managed to create yet another attacking drive, and as you can see, 2 or 3 American players on the bottom who've just swimming up the pool, almost uncontested. Oh wow, that's really... that almost went in. Well, the rest see it go in. It was definitely on the corner, and it's gone, and it went in just for a second, but the referees, eagle-eyed, they called that in, and that was a really strong... really strong move. They had numbers down, everything you want to see. I'm sure the coach Andreas is going to be very happy with this performance by the USA men, Masters men in the first half. Scott Tucker scoring that goal. 50 seconds left. We might get a couple of 10 or 20 seconds of play here once the strike resumes, but Jace Meeses will have a lot to say at half time. All right, 25 seconds to go to shut out this first half. And just, again, USA just finding that space right up down the sideline. And they now find themselves in the back corner with 7 seconds to go, and maybe even time for a sneaky goal. Right, they've come here. They're not playing for something. Sheep stations. They're here to really. And we can see the clock's run out now. Half time. Agnes, how many Colorado players are in the Masters men team
The
specifically?
Masters men, it's just Greg Fitzgerald, who is more, well, not terribly recently, but has moved to Colorado, and Phil Hickey.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And Phil Hickey's also coaching the elite women?
Correct.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep. Yep. Got to make sure I'm right on that, but yes. So, yeah, we've. Um,
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, just that first half, like, it's again not watching the USA Masters first game. Were they playing like that in the first game that well? The same, playing the same amount of pressure. Do you think?
I think, yeah, they have been keeping up this pressure, and I expect them to keep that up the whole time. It's a pretty fit team, and they've been working hard,
Yeah,
working
that's
together,
very
and
evident by the amount of bodies in the water and the speed which they're and ease of moving the puck and exploiting
yeah,
any gaps in the Australian team.
yeah, and they did the same thing against Great Britain this morning. They're really keeping the pressure up. It's very impressive.
Mm.
I like the style that they're playing.
One minute till this halftime is over. We can see there on the far right of the screen, Australians still deep in discussions. USA have said everything they need to say. The Australians really obviously have a lot to work out in this half time. And we'll see how they respond in the second half with the instructions of Jason Meeses and Jimmy Roster, the captain. So sitting out this game looks like Luke Newland and Kev Chisholm sitting out for Australia, that is. And 15 seconds to go here in the half time. And play resuming here in the second half. As USA winning all their strikes. Do you know who's playing centre, Agnes, or strike?
I'm sorry, no, I don't.
No, that's all right. But he's if quick, whoever he is.
Yeah, yeah.
100% wins on those strikes, and it's just helped them to lay that platform and, yeah, really put their pressure, as we can see there. The Australians are just showing them too much space down the sideline, which is allowing them to just continuously be put under pressure by the USA team here. As we can see now, the puck is just underneath the sub bench, but another ref call here. Benny Richards getting to his work as a ref, spotting a lot of chopping infringements this evening. And the Australians off the hook now with a free puck. Jace Mees is a fullback, takes it. He's down early, finds a lot of space there up on that angle, driving towards the centre of the court, and they've managed to get it across all the way to the other court and trying to find some uncontested players. We can see here one of the Australian wingers really responding well here. Australia putting a lot of pressure now into their second half, and they've got a free puck, unfortunately, against them. Against Pat Kelly, number 13 for Australia. They're playing right half at the moment. The USA taking the free puck. And just, yeah, locked over there on that far wall now. I'm just going to try and bring the chat up, folks, and see what's happening in the chat.
There might certainly be more people in the chat that know more about what's going on than I do.
That's right. It's good to have you here, Agnes. Where are we? Videos. Oh, we'll get there. Alrighty. Live. All right, got it. Yep, Tucker. All right, they've noticed Tucker is winning the strikes as well, so it's
Okay, I thought it was either Scott or Phil.
yeah, winning
They're
those
both in
strikes.
front,
Good
and
on
I'm
them.
not. Yeah, I'm not sure.
As we can see now, this zippy USA players just zipping around the court, and they've got another. We can get a shot on that
So
corner
close.
cam, and really putting the Australians under a lot of pressure. It's pretty dicey here in the second half, but Australia so far managing not concede any goals in the second half here. But these are, really impressed again by these quick and fit USA Masters men. Shout out to the guys from Sydney and Wollongong tuning in and cheering on our local players, Jacko and Heckenberg. It's unfortunate Jack Penrose, who couldn't be here to join us and missing out all the fun as a volunteer. Alrighty, what's going on? We've got a free puck. Do you want me to switch, Jason? Yeah, you good? Cool. Alright, Australia under the pump here. They are defending a free puck against USA. We can see the USA players just trying to drive it straight in front of the goal tray. It's bobbled out, and that back just took it straight up, but he's lost possession. And good bottom time here from both teams. The USA player retaining possession and trying to it's still just staying in that 6 metre D. They're still under pressure, and you can see yet another free puck. No sin bins yet, though. I'm not sure. Like, I haven't refed a lot of comps, high level comps at that, but I would have thought by now some people being chucked out with all these chopping and fouls.
Yeah, the repeated calls. I've been wondering about that in some of the games when they have so many repeated calls. I kind of expect them to start throwing players out, and it hasn't seemed to happen.
Yeah, Blair's Little Bear. Gong is slang for Wollongong, south of Sydney. A really strong New South Wales club, which Ryan Heckenberg is representing, and a few other Wollongong players here in other teams for the Masters women as well. And we can see now Australia just getting off the hook there. They've managed to turn it up in the second half and escape with no goals conceded so far. 5 minutes into the second half. We can see now that they're about to resume with the free puck. The fullback, Jimmy Rossiter, taking it in. And they're pushing it over there to that far side of the court. We're trying to almost do, I guess, the exact same of USA find some space down the sideline, but the USA players doing really good to screen them and just not show them any gaps that they can get past. Which is why the Australians are just really struggling to get up there. We can see now a breakaway, but unfortunately pulled back for a referee's call. Back over here by that ref in the far corner. But it's that is unlucky. That was their puck. He obviously seen something that negated the advantage they got from the foul, and that player was away and about to put the Australians under pressure. But he already must have been calling something for a while, being over there in the far side. This is obviously a step up from Tuesday night hockey in Wollongong for players like Ryan Heckenberg here in the big leagues. And for a lot of the other players around Australia, not the different areas at club level. Agnes, is the level week to week in Colorado under hockey quite high, would you say, relative?
In general, it is quite high. We're still a club team. They've got, more beginner players and old players like me playing, along with other, the level's quite high. A lot of these players are training in Tahoe, which has some very high level play, and both Tahoe and Colorado play at altitude, so that helps, of course, working on bottom time. You get down to sea level here, and it's kind of a pleasure.
Yeah, we can definitely see that.
You feel like you're going to be out of air, and then all of a sudden
advantage of the altitude training on show here so far. As we come back to the play, and the Australians now have an attacking free puck, a good opportunity here to get their name on the scoreboard. The fullback, Jace Macy's, takes it and flicks it in. Carl Patton there doing good work to regain it and recycle it, but the USA players just down whenever they're needed to shut everything down. and not out of the woods yet. But the Australians just haven't managed to find, enough support to put any drives. But the USA players, every time they're looking for someone, a USA player is there. Now we can see number 6 is that Christoph Otchin doing a great little swim there, and yeah, now they're back under the pump, the Aussies, as the players in the armbands are, which apparently the armbands are legal to wear this comp, even though they're the opposing colour to their stick. And Australia just off the hook there. Look, a lot better defensive showing when they're near the 6 metre D. This half of the Australians, but if they're going to come back and get any sort of chance of winning this game from the death, they've really got to start scoring some goals. USA with the puck now over on the far side. Does Colorado complete it? Do you have a club championships in USA?
We did. Colorado got second in nationals after Tahoe this year, and so that was a really good showing for Colorado. Tahoe has players from all over the world.
Yeah,
there
before
right now, so.
Lake Tahoe was on the scene, what were the strongest clubs in America?
This year it would be after Tahoe, it's Colorado, and then our A division competition was actually really close. We had a lot of teams, a lot of games that were 1-0, or tie games, and into overtime and stuff. And honestly, I'm not even sure who ended up in third. A little excited about Colorado doing what they did. But there was the DC team, California. Yeah, there's I'd have to go back and review what happened in there. I play in the C division, so
that's all right. just back yourself. As we can see
now,
that USA player, he's just managed to swim around the outside of the pack and had a flick at the goal tray, but I can't see if it. Oops, sorry, my cord just got caught. Did they end up scoring? That puck went in. Yeah, so that USA player, that off half or off half back or whatever you call it. Yeah, just really quick and just was able to spurn everybody.
Christoph. Very very impressive puck handling, speed, everything. He's a very, very strong player.
And now USA getting rewarded with a timeout after that. Impressive goal there by Christoph. That, Marshall, to answer your question, I don't know, but it's all about 1%ers in the World Championship. So if anything gives you just a slight advantage with the armbands and they're legal, why not do it? And all right.
In the Masters category, the armbands are hold our bits and pieces together.
Oh, hold your aging bodies together, yeah.
Aging bodies, they can't deny that. Medically required.
All right, we can see Andreas now just swimming out from the court after, I'm sure, giving his team great praise at the scoreline, particularly the defence. And again, for those who aren't aware, unlike maybe other football codes that you watch, it's not just about for and against. If you get tied on the ladder, it's actually about goals conceded. So you can flog a team, and that's cool, but it's actually about the amount of goals you don't concede. It's going to help you later in the comp when you have tie on the ladder. And again, 100% wins on the strikes by the two centers.
Scott Tucker.
Yeah, Scott and Phil Hickey. I personally, when I play centre, from time to time, I don't bother winning the strikes. I'm not sure that's a strategy that the Australian players are taking, or the USA Masters are just that quick. But historically, I haven't found, at least at club level, that winning the strike makes you score more goals. But it's on show today why it's good to win those strikes and burn that energy off the strike, because they're just always been put under the pump when your team's there to back you. And it's reflected in the scoreline here this evening. As you can see, USA just another attacking drive. Just getting, again, hockey can be a simple game at times. If you get more numbers on the bottom, you're bound to put the puck in the tray. As we can see now, it's been called back for a stick infringement against USA. 3 minutes left in the half. 5-0 to the USA Masters. And yeah, the Australians, I'm sure, will have a lot to talk about tonight after this performance. You know, whether they were prepared mentally for how USA are going to play. But, you know, with all teams, I guess, it's a blank slate, this competition, with 5 years and COVID. And I'm sure we're going to harp on about it like a broken record over the coverage this week. But until we kind of get an idea of what teams are strong, it's really a blank slate. So some teams can really, you know, pull the pants down, so to speak, of some of these teams with all the preparation they've been doing that 5-year break since the last World Championships.
Who just got kicked out?
A USA player?
Yeah.
He got in the wrong, a bit dazed and confused, in the wrong sub-bench area, or sin-bin area, sorry. And now, that's Christoph Ochin. Ochin?
Ochin, I think.
Ochin.
Just Christoph will do.
Yeah, Christoph. The Australians responding there with that sin bin to call a timeout.
Not even close. Or once, they got close. Once.
And they've got 2 minutes now to just try and, you know, put something together. I'm sure they just want, you know, a goal. Just for the sake of it, I guess. And, yeah, to really try and not concede any more goals. Again, scoring goals is probably less important for the Australian team, and not conceding another goal is more important for them, given they don't know how the rest of the comp's going to play out with only one single round robin in the Masters men's division. All right, a couple of seconds left of the timeout. 2 minutes left in the second half. Jimmy DeRossiter, the Queensland local, taking the free puck, and he has flicked it up there in the stack, but yeah, they just can't seem to open up and find any space. The USA players have done a really great job of shutting down any potential outlets for the Australian team, and just really suffocating them and smothering them this game. And all the USA Masters men could do is just, for the rest of the game, is, you know, put it in the back corner and try not to concede any goals. See Jimmy Rossiter, it's a nice quick work. He's flicked it forward, but just not enough players down. I'm not, and all the USA players just really good at knocking down any of those big flicks from the Aussies. And that's why sometimes it's better to just, you know, swim it in. It's easy to say here in the commentary box, but swim it in, if instead of flicking it, instead of giving them a chance to knock it down so close to the goal tray when you don't have a lot of opportunities to score otherwise. We can see Ryan Hackenberg clearing it out there, finding a halfback, trying to look for Jacko. Jimmy Rossiter back down, and there's a good goal there. A consolation goal for the Australian Masters team in the last minute of the match. Good work there by Jacko and Jimmy Rossiter in the lead up, and I think it was finished off by, lethal left-hander Barry McCauley from Wonthaggi. Wonthaggi for the Americans is a really strong breeding ground for a lot of our junior players, and they've had a lot of players come through the ranks over the years. Reece Quilford, Amy Barry McCauley, now Dave back on the scene. But shout out to some of the young players from Wonthaggi, like Casey Hoskins, making their debut in the elite women's division for Australia. Really strong nursery club. As we can see now, only 10 seconds left. The Australians just winding down the clock here now. All right, and that's going to be time for this game. 5-1, really great. I don't think we've stressed enough what an impressive performance the USA Masters men have put on here, and they've really, set on this first day, coming at the end of the first day of a Worlds, undefeated, on possibly the top of the ladder. It's going to be a really good feeling for them tonight.
Yep, we're hoping so. I mean, they're certainly hope going for the gold. There's no doubt about it, and I think there's a really good chance of that.
And Australia finishing the day with, you know, 1 win, 1 loss. They'll have a lot to chat about tonight, but, you know, tomorrow anything can happen, Agnes. We might leave it there, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow, bright and early, 7:20. The games kick off here, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining in on your weekend and wherever you're tuning in from around the world.
I'm just waiting on the coach for the successful American Masters team to come over, and we'll be interviewing him shortly. He's just getting out of the water. Looking very wet, probably cold. Here with Andreas, everybody, the coach and men's Masters. The game against the Australians. Did you see that?
It was good. Our men came out and we were initially a little skeptical about if we use the wall, if we go into the channel, but then we started to notice some weaknesses on the wall and we started to exploit it.
You certainly did admit. The tactics you changed or for this game?
Not really. We came out strong against the South Africans, and we decided maybe we'll try and shift it a little bit based on the 3-3 they're playing. And it looked like it was working somewhat at the start, but unfortunately at the end there, lost that point. Didn't keep a clean sheet, but it is the way it is with the man out.
Oh, they always like a consolation goal, you know, when they're being smashed by you guys. It was really good. How are you finding the facility, and how are you finding the bottom and the pool?
Lovely. I got down there with my puck and stick earlier during the trainings, and feels really good. Puck's a little bit light, so it can bounce over your stick a little bit, but overall.
Terrific. And who do you think your big threats are coming up?
We got.
No, you can't. And it's been also such a long time between drills, thanks to a certain pandemic, that it's very hard to size up the opposition. Exactly. So what have you done to sort of look at them and see them? Have you got any spies in the water or anything good like that?
No, that's the problem. We didn't know what the teams are going to be like. You can never get a finger on the situation. But all the games that we're to get some information coming there forming these games.
Right, and what would you say the average age of your guys are?
We're a little bit younger. I would say we're probably in late 30s, early 40s. I think our oldest guys may be in 50s.
Right. Actually, something I did notice, you guys are looking pretty damn fit down there and strong, so you're going to have a hell of a comp. So, luck with it. We'll know throughout the tournament.
Thank you very much.